Hello everyone, welcome to BIMmodeler.com. Welcome to the BIMmodeler channel. Well, we are discussed in the last week family creation tutorial. One of our learners, Maghzood Khan, he asked for a request, family request, which is Secant Pile creation, family creation. So we have received a mail from him as well, and for the drawing with the drawings details as well. From that, we are creating this family and how to place them on the project. That's what we're going to discuss in this live tutorial. And so, as you know, BIMmodeler.com, we create families on demand basis for manufacturer and AEC companies. We create BIM modeling services also for different companies. So you can go and search the family that you needed, and you can log in and download the families in here. Let's come back to the topic. So Secant Pile. So the process. If you are a structural engineer, you might be knowing it already. So the Secant Pile is one of the uses is that to avoid the water leakage while in the construction. If you are making a construction which is underground, and if you don't want to have a water leakage in your system, so this is pretty much the first thing it comes. It depends on the soil, and other things will come in place. What will be the process? There are two things. As you can see, there are two files in this, and you can see that primary and secondary. One file will be placed. The first, it will be drilled and down, and it will be given a hole, and we will be placing the reinforcement and or any structural elements inside, and we place the concrete. We pour the concrete inside, and we space them between other file as well, and we will be placing another primary in between after some time after curing, and we will be drilling that in this shape. We call it a secondary or a male pile will be poured, concrete will be poured. As you know, so this is this process. You can see it. If you're watching this tutorial, say hi, and you can see that the drilling is happening here, and this is going to be the male or the secondary foundation, secondary file, which we can see that the drilling process is happening here, and you can see that the drill in the beginning. So before starting any of this process, they will be creating the guide wall. You can see that it will be in any thickness, something like this. Depends on the soil capacity that we have in that place. The size of the wall will vary. So this wall will guide for us to drill the elements, and it will avoid the land falling or landsliding. So this is how it looks, and you can see them. So this can be done in the actual site. This is how the process happens, and as you know, it's a simple thing in Revit. We're not going to draw any other objects. If it is needed, we can draw this wall as well. At the moment, I'm going to create a pile family, and I'm going to create the primary and secondary for this families. And let's start with new family. So I'm using the template, metric template. The metric template that I'm going to choose structural foundation. Open, and you can see that we have as usual template, but you can see that the category is structural foundation, and you have to change this, the material behavior. We're going to pour this as a concrete, so we can make this as concrete in this place, and you can even change this omni class as foundation as pile foundation, and it's a driven files. And in this, if you know, it's not a precast, it's a concrete, and we can assign that, and that's it in this case. And we are going to create a front view And in the front view, we're going to create a reference a plane, which is the pile going to have a depth approximately this much. I'm going to click this temporary dimension into a permanent dimension by clicking that arrow, or you can make your own dimension. And we may have to have another reference plane in here. It's used to define the embankment, so how far we have in the top side. I like to keep it as 100 millimeter, and we can have this as a depth value. It will be pile depth, or you can, and it is going to be instance or type based on your requirement. I'm going to keep this as instance, and this is going to be act as parameter. Going to the level, create extrude. I'm going to create a circle. I'm going to create it outside. Select the circle, and you'll have a center mark visible. Use the align command. Align it in the center. Lock it. Once this is done, we can create the diameter option, and we can assign the parameter to that, saying that this will be pile diameter. Even we can keep this as type, and I'm going to change this diameter as 500, and the depth will be, pile depth will be about 5000, and I'm going to say OK. And finishing this, the solid object will be created, and you can select that, and you will be able to assign the material parameter. By default it's available, you can assign them, the parameter will be assigned. Going to the front view, and if you see that by default it will be extruded to the top side. In this case, we need to align that with the bottom side. You take the align command, click the reference line first, and second the extrusion edge, lock it. Similarly, this top edge with this one, and lock it. Now we can lock this position, and we can say file offset or file embankment. And let's try this 5000 millimeter into 6000 millimeter, and the value is changing. I will be using this, and select this, go to material and assign a material, structural material, a concrete material that if you have. And I'm using the standard concrete material. You can create your own material, that concrete material type that you're going to use in the site. Select OK, and you can see them in the 3D and shaded view. Once this is done, we can go ahead and create a new project, and by saving this project file as and let's say we have two type, and let's say this is primary, and let's create another one, secondary. There are two piles, both will be the same case. In this case, even sometime it may vary. Do say hi if you're watching this tutorial. That will be, it can be more interactive. And create a new project. We can create a new project which is a structural project. I can load this I can come back to the family and load this into the project like this. I can place it like this. Now let's say we have a boundary line. The boundary line, something, it looks like this, and we wanted to place this pile over the boundaries like this. We can right click and say create similar. We can start placing, as you know that the primary piles will be first, it will be placed. After curing, secondary piles will be placed. You can place them like that, in that order, but in my case I'm going to do place them like this, overlapping with each other, something like this. Then I will make sure that the distance from the engineers are correct, and let me keep this as our diameter is 500 millimeter, and we can change this into 400 millimeter or 350 millimeter. So this value will be coming from the engineer we will be having in our price. So this is this is going to be the primary file. We will be having the cut down. So this file will be our primary file. This one is going to be secondary. Let's alternate. This is going to be alternative only. We can create similar and place. I'm approximately placing all these things. So let's create dimensions once again by selecting this dimension, and we can make them as an equal constraint, equally spaced. When I select this equal, and if you see that the piles are aligned properly. Now if I select this one is secondary, and this, all these things are secondary only, let me change this as alternatively primary as well. We are getting confused that how these all are aligned. We can create a filter for this in the project. As you know, we can go ahead and create a filter in the visibility graphics, and filter, add a new filter, create a new filter, name this as primary. So when a primary structural foundation found, we are going to apply a color, a different color. Okay, make sure it's only structural foundation. The structural foundation type name, if it is equal, we can say equal, and we can directly assign this one, or we can say if it contains primary, we can select that. It's a primary pile. We can rename this and select the primary file and add that into our list. Create a pattern. It's going to be a red color for us to understand, and it's going to be a solid fill, and I'm going to apply that. Now you can see that the primary piles are in red color. We can clearly see that how it's connected. You know, in Revit by default, if the materials are same, it will automatically join, but in this case the primary things need to be cut in the opposite side. So we have to use the modify tool and use the join option and switch the join option, in this case here, and I'm giving enter, and like this, two things. This is going to be our mail. So this is the primary. We will be boring and we will be pouring the concrete in this place. So the similar way, we're going to switch the between these two. So red one will be cut down, and this one is already done. Now what we can do is we can copy same sets to the other place, and we're going to switch only in this place. Like these, we will be able to see that the primary files are cutting down. So are we sure that we have actual material is been cut? So we will have a doubt that is it cut, is it subtracted the actual material. I'm going to take a schedule from the view tab, structural foundation, and I'm select OK. I'm going to select the family name and family type. I'm going to select the area, and I'm going to select the volume. If it is needed, we can select the other dimension parameters, and as of now, I don't need any of this. Now, if you see that we have alternatively primary pile and the secondary piles are listed in this place, and we clearly able to see them. If I keep it side by side, I don't need this family anymore. I can close this. I can keep the views side by side, and you can see that this pile is don't need it. I can delete this pile from the list. It will be deleted. You can see that the secondary piles are in full shape, 1 metric cube like this in this place, and other piles are in 0.62. You mean the red piles are in 0.62. We can select them and say highlight in the model. It will be highlighted, this model. So we can delete that and make sure, yes, it is deleted. So it means we have a two different volume. If you are calculating the material, it will be two different, it will be in two different material. So in the material requirement. So we can, this is how we'll be able to categorize them, and you can sort and group it based on the family type, and we will be able to give a blank space between them, and if it is needed we can select OK. So we can count and we can list them, and we can show how many are there, how much total for the area and volume, and select OK. Okay, so this is it. You'll be able to do your file calculation, scan file calculation. Hi, if you're watching this video and if it is helpful, do add a like and do chat in the chat box. So with your name, so that I can understand, it'll be interactive, and I'll wait for your response. And do let me know if you are need of a family. So do put your family requirement, and do send your requirement. If you have any image references or drawing references, do send it to us, and we will be able to take it as a next tutorial. So this live tutorial, I'll be able to give it to you as a presentation. Do subscribe and chat with me in the chat. I'll hold the live session for another couple of minutes, and do let me know if you have any requirement, or in the same topic, if you have any doubts, you can chat in the comment box. Okay. Okay, 3D. We can see the borders, which is what is cutting and what is not cutting. We can see this shape. So that's it from me, and thank you so much for watching. Do share it with your learning friends, and if you have any questions, you can. If you have any requirements in the family, you can leave your comments in the video below, and I'll be. I think this is the right time. Like we can end the meeting in the session. See you on the next tutorial. Bye bye. Take care.